begin with breaking news tonight in the transportation crisis rocking Rochester City Schools just days before a new academic year begins. A discussion made tonight as the district and families scramble to find a solution, but there are still a lot of uncertainties. Good evening, I'm Dan Schrack. Doug and Jenny are off. The district is down 100 drivers and is now working with regional transit service to get as many students to school as possible. Some bus routes are being consolidated, others eliminated. Today, the district announced it was curbing the Walker bus program from schools 10, 17, and 22. Forcing students who live within a mile and a half of those schools to walk or find their own way to get to class. And now, as 13 WHAM's Tyler Brown reports, students will have to ride out the first part of the year learning from home. Tyler?
Yeah, Dan, the district says it is working on making sure that all students have the technology they need in case they aren't able to make it to class in person safely. Still, many questions remain unanswered. In a last-minute scramble to get more kids in the classroom, the Rochester City School District is consolidating bus routes and negotiating a new deal with regional transit to try and get as many kids in the classroom as possible.
The best place for students to be is in school, in person, and we have worked very diligently to ensure that that happens.
However, nearly 600 families at 3 different schools received this letter from the district today, informing them that their bus routes had been eliminated. Students who aren't able to get alternative rides to school can either walk to class or sign in remotely. Superintendent Lesli Myers-Small says the situation is fluid.
Our plan is constantly evolving is because there is the potential for additional loss of drivers.
The move comes with even more questions. In an emergency work session tonight, School Board President Van White says the next step is a safety plan for those whose transportation was taken away.
These neighborhoods are not safe for young children, night or day. We do not want another tragedy as a consequence of this crisis.
Myers-Small says talks are underway to team up with community members to help kids get to school safely.
We're looking at, the possibility of something similar to like a safe passage to help students to and from school. So that is in the works.
And big questions the superintendent expects to answer in a board meeting tomorrow is how much this RTS contract will cost the district and how exactly the district is planning to pay for it. That and the district contract is expected to be discussed tomorrow in a board meeting at 5:30.
A temporary solution for some students affected by the Rochester City School District's transportation crisis. RTS is changing its routes to shuttle thousands of high school students to and from school.
Our customers will be impacted by this, but if we don't have our students in school to graduate, our community will be impacted.
Some riders will see changes to their routes starting on Monday. Good afternoon, I'm Doug Embledge. This plan does address a portion of the transportation problem the city school districts is facing. But as Jane Chaco reports now, there is concern it is creating another one. Jane?
Doug, the board in charge of RTS approved the route changes this afternoon, saying it's important for kids to be in school, but regular bus riders will be impacted. Starting Monday, 3,500 more Rochester City High School students could be taking an RTS bus to school.
There are times in life things happen. This is one of these things. A community needs student transportation. We are going to do it.
RTS was already contracted to bus 4,000 high school students. But when RCSD found out it would be down by dozens of drivers, it turned to the public bus system. On Tuesday, the RTS board unanimously approved a plan to help.
For the greater good, the good of our community, accept the motion to approve. I have a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
It could have a ripple effect on other riders. 8 RTS routes will change from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, a concern for at least one board member.
First, we're moving the community problem from the school district to us. So we are going to fix the school district's problem, but then we're going to have a transit problem.
The agency has worked on redesigning services for years, launching Reimagine RTS in May that introduces 10 routes that run every 15 minutes, a popular option for regular riders.
They like the consistency. They like that it does the same thing 7 days a week, but they love the freedom that the 15-minute service provides.
RTS has agreed to bus students for 4 months. The agency expects a dip in customer satisfaction and pushback from riders and employers who have come to rely on this bus service.
We're going to share this problem with the school district. We're going to take it on the chin with some of our customers.
RTS and RCSD are negotiating the cost of transporting these students. The superintendent said she would be providing the school board with those numbers at tonight's board meeting, which starts in half an hour. The school board would need to approve RTS's plan to make it official.
It's the first day of school for many students in our area, as we've been talking about all morning, but those in the Rochester City School District will have to wait another day.
The start of the school year pushed back by a day to tomorrow amid that shortage of school bus drivers. The problem only getting worse. Sam Carter live in the city with the latest this morning. Sam, good morning.
Matt, good morning. That's right. The problem is getting worse. Today was supposed to be the first day of school for the Rochester City School District. That date has been pushed back until tomorrow. And as more bus drivers resign, it is leaving the most vulnerable among us affected. Now, on Tuesday, the Regional Transit Service announced that it would be changing routes in order to help about 3,500 students who previously had no ride get to school. It's important to note, though, with that deal, that nothing has been formalized yet with the city. All of this comes as even more bus drivers are resigning. RCSD Superintendent Dr. Lesli Myers-Small said that of the 3 busing services the district uses, 9 more drivers have resigned, putting the district down more than 100. According to Dr. Myers-Small, the loss of these drivers will impact 36, that's right, 36 routes, and impact as many as 174 students with disabilities. And Myers-Small used one word when talking to us last night: pivot.
We're working on what we're calling our pivot plans, knowing that drivers could resign. We need to go back to our war room, as we're calling it, and work on solutions. We need to figure out how to shift coverage from the routes that were vacated with these, that were left open due to the resignations, and redistribute those so that the students with disabilities can be covered.
Now, even if this deal with RTS does come together, it won't take effect until September 13th. And until that time, more than 2,000 Rochester students will be left without a ride to school.